that intersects two or more lines. So what would be the transversal in this image? Actually a T. Yeah, you see an I. Line T. So it's a line that intersects two or more lines. You guys remember these angle pairs, corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior, consecutive or same side interior, and consecutive exterior. Raise your hand if those sound familiar.
Oh, you go way too fast.
Okay, even if you don't remember, my hope is that you've at least seen these words before. I know it's like in 4th grade now. I don't know when it was for you guys. My daughter
seen
did
this.
What's that?
I haven't seen this.
I know. I am not saying you did see it in 4th grade, but I know that's what it is now.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen this.
That's
They
fine.
were teaching this in 4th grade.
So I review it real quick, and then we do it in the high school way,
In
like
4th
with proofs and all of that.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
4th grade.
All right, corresponding angles. Corresponding angles correspond to one another. They're in the same position. So you see this figure here, we have a group of 4 here and a group of 4 here. Corresponding means they're in the same position. So you could say upper left of that group of 4, or the upper right, lower left, but they're in the same position. Or they could be side by side. You could turn this image as well. So if I say angle 1, it's in the upper left, what would it correspond to down here? 5, right. 5 is also in the upper left. You see what I mean by that corresponding position? So we say angle 1 and angle 5. Don't put a plus sign. Angle 1 and angle 5. What's another pair of corresponding angles?
2 and 6.
2 and 6. You both have the same one. Very good. Angle 2 corresponds to angle 6. What's another pair?
3.
I heard 4 and 8 and 3 and 7. Both of those are right. So we have angle 4 and 8. And then angles 3 and 7. Those are all the pairs that are corresponding to one another in this figure. Is everybody okay so far? Alright, so let's go to alternate interior. Alternate interior is kind of how it sounds. See how there's 4 angles that are on the inside of L and M? So I'm talking about 4, 3, 5, and 6. They're on the interior of those 2 lines. What do you suppose alternating means?
Outside.
What did you say?
Outside.
Not outside. Yeah, they're on alternating sides. You could have called them opposite interior, but they use the word alternating. They alternate sides. So if I say angle 4, what is the alternate interior angle to angle 4?
6.
Very good, 6. What's the other pair of alternate interior angles?
2 and 8.
Not there. Those aren't on the interior. What did you say? 3 and 5. Very good. Angle 3 and angle 5. Okay. Notice there's only 2 pairs of alternate interior in this figure, as opposed to corresponding had 4 pairs, because we reduced it just to the interior. And now we have alternate exterior. So the word that changed is interior to exterior. But it's a similar idea. Now what 4 angles am I focused on when I'm doing alternate exterior?
1, 2, 3, 7.
Exactly. If I say angle 1, what is the alternate interior angle? Angle 1 and angle 7. They're on the outside, so on the exterior, and they're alternating sides of the transversal. What's the other pair of alternate exterior angles? 2 and 8. Very good. Don't forget to put the angle thing, because I didn't do that. Did you? Yes, that is important. Alright, so these next set, they have 2 different names, and it depends on what textbook you're looking at, one worksheet, but they mean the same thing. It's consecutive, which means next to, and it's also same side. Okay? Consecutive and same side mean the same thing in this situation. So if I say same side interior, so again we're looking at the interior of those lines, what would be the same side interior angle to angle 4? Very good. Angle 4 and angle 5 are same side interior. What's the other pair then? 3 and 6. Very good. Alright, so we have the interior of that. Now we have the exterior. would be the same side exterior angle pair? What's one of them? 1 and 8, very good. And what's the other pair? 2 and 7, good.
This is fun.
Alright, how's that feel so far? Good? Does it look more familiar if it didn't look familiar at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it is.
Is it, you may not use them very much, but I know some schools do 4th grade. It just depends on your schooling system, where you came from. Alright, so this section, we're just reintroducing this idea, making sure you remember the angle pairs, and then we're going to use it more in a mathematical sense here in the next section. I want you to do examples 3 and 4 right now on your own. Letter A, 1 and 8. What type of angle pair are 1 and 8?
Exterior.
Very good. Alternate, I heard a lot of you say it, exterior angles. How about 2 and 3?
Constructed, same side, interior.
Consecutive or same side, very good. It's on the interior.
And then we got corresponding angles.
So 5 and 7, yep, are corresponding to one another. They're both in the lower left. How about 2 and 7?
Alternate.
What did you say?
Alternate.
Yeah, but what was the second word?
Exterior.
They're not on the exterior.
Interior.
Yeah, they're on the inside of those 2 other lines that the transversal's going through. How about 1 and 3?
Corresponding.
Corresponding, very good. How about 5 and 8?
Constructed.
That's Sheldrick, go for it. Sorry.
Consecutive. Exterior.
Very good. Consecutive or same side exterior angles. Alright, so when we look at example 4, what parts is everybody good with example 3? Or you just have 2 sets to look at?
Was that F you just did?
That was F, consecutive exterior.
Exterior?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When we look down at example 4, I want to also talk about what transversal that we're looking at as well. I didn't tell you this before, but go ahead and write it in if you got this part. If we're looking at 5 and 13, we're looking at this transversal. It might help to cover up the transversal we're not looking at. So if we're looking at 5 and 13, first, what transversal are we using?
Corresponding.
They're corresponding, and what's the transversal that those angles are running along?
Name the line.
Those are the lines the transversal's crossing, so we're getting there. What's the actual transversal? B, very good. So on these, normally I'll have you state the transversal. Does everybody see that transversal? And then 5 and 13 are corresponding. You can even kind of highlight, like angle 5 is made up of those 2 lines. Draw a little better so you can see 13. And then angle 13 is made up of B and D, so then you can see B is the transversal crossing the other 2. Ada? Yes. Alright, 7 and 14. First, what's the transversal we're looking at?
Wait, for what?
For part B, 7 and 14.
B.
B again, very good. And what type of angle pair are 7 and 14?
Alternate interior.
Very good, they're alternate interior. And then we're going on to 3 and 6. So 3 is made up of line C and line A. 6 is made up of C and B. So first, what's the transversal we're focused on? So the line that they have in common. This is 3 and 6. What's the transversal?
C.
C, very good. C is the transversal. What type of angle pair are they? Hayden?
Alternate exterior.
Very good. They're alternate exterior. The next ones are 9 and 14. 9 is made up of B and A. 14 is made up of D and B. What's my transversal?
A.
What do they have in common? Line or angles 9 and 14.
Oh, B.
D. And what type of angle pair are they?
Same side exterior.
Very good. Same side exterior. You said consecutive, that's fine. Any questions so far? Is this good enough? We're good?
Well, I have I took
Go for it, Nathan.
it's 8 and I.
8 to 9.
No, H and I.
Oh, H and I. Not there yet. Oh yeah, I'll go through all these.
Oh,
4 and 7. What's the transversal connecting 4 and 7?
C.
C, very good. Does everybody see that it's C? And then what are the names of the angle pairs?
Same side interior.
Very good. Same side, inferior. Letter F is 2 and 10. What's my transversal?
A.
A, good. And what's the angle pair? Corresponding, good.
Sorry.
Letter G, 8 and 14. What's my transversal? B, very good. And what's the angle pair? Yep, same side, or you can say consecutive. And it is the interior. 6 and 11. First, what's the transversal connecting 6 and 11? Or is there one? There is none. So if there's no transversal, it is not going to be an angle pair. Everybody understand that? So if I look at 6 and 11, the lines forming those angles, they don't have anything in common. So if there's no transversal, they are not an angle pair. How about 4 and 13? What would you say? Because if you didn't put that, fix it.
Nine.
Not again, good, because there is no transversal connecting those two.
Oh, okay.
See that?
I was confused. I was just like, was naming them at that point.
Yep, you can't name
I
them if
didn't
there's
know
no
you could name
transversal.
them none.
Yeah, I said it at the top. I didn't mention it, but yeah. How about letter J, 4 and 9?
Nine.
A.
A is our transversal, so what type of angle pair?
Alternate.
Alternate interior, very good. Alright, so everybody feel reviewed?
I got the majority of them correct.
Wonderful.